stereo, but cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live Coded Compositions. My name is CHAR STILES, and I'm joined here by Dan Gorelick. For the next hour, we're going to give you a tutorial and a little bit of a performance in live coding, and I'll hand it off to Dan to explain what live coding is.
Yeah, cool. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Char. And thanks, Twilio, for having us here today. So for the next hour, we're going to be doing live coding. And traditionally, in a conference setting, you see live coding where people are coding on their computer, and it's to test APIs, to demonstrate the latest and greatest software. And today, we will be using some different libraries, some different APIs, but we're going to be coding a musical performance. And so first off, you can see our faces now, but Brent will switch over to my coding screen, and you can see a little bit about what's happening. So here you see a text editor, and unlike traditional programming where you maybe have a Python file and then you execute that whole file, with live coding, I'm using a tool called TidalCycles. And TidalCycles is it's based on Haskell. It's a domain-specific language of Haskell, so if you're a Haskell fan, you'll recognize a lot of what's happening here. And pretty much, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial, and then I'll hand it off to Char for the visuals. So with live coding, I'm going to type one line of code here, and I'm going to say D1, which is the first channel, and the sound is going to be a bass drum sound. And I'm going to hit Shift-Enter, which will just run this one line of code that I'm highlighting here. So let's just do that right now. Cool.
Sounds great.
So you can hear a bass drum. Can you hear that, Char? Cool. So everything in this string right here is going to happen in one cycle. And I'm essentially making a lot of different patterns. So let's just type 2 bass drums here. Cool. And we can hear that. Set CPS is we're going 120 BPM. We're going to do a little bit of house music later. So we have bass drum. Let's do a snare drum instead. Cool. And then let's do it so we have bass drum. And then we'll have the second cycle. We'll do 2 bass drums. Cool. We're getting a little bit more of a groove. And then let's do another channel here. And let's add a hi-hat in. Cool. So we got the hi-hat going. And let's just do times 4. And I'll make that a little bit louder by changing the gain. Cool. So that's just me laying down the drum pattern. This is all going to Ableton. That's like making all the sounds go. But in front of me right here, you see a synthesizer. And I can also send messages to the synthesizer using MIDI. So in front of me right here, you see a synthesizer. And I can also send messages to the synthesizer using MIDI. So let me do that right now. So D3, we'll say the sound will be OB6. That's just the name of the synthesizer. And we'll say the MIDI note I want to send over is 36, which is a C. And I'm going to let go of that sound. I'm just going to play this right now. And you can hear that coming in. And then let's just change the structure of that so that we play 3 notes for every 8. Whoops. Cool. There we go.
Sounds great.
Are you able to hear that, Char? Cool. So I'm going to keep on jamming out with this. I'll be a little quieter so that I can hand it off to Char, and Char can explain a little bit of what's going on with the visuals for this performance.
Great. So you can see on my screen what's happening with the visuals. Here, I'm using a language called GLSL, which is a so unlike Dan's code, which is executed line by line, this entire code is going to be compiled as it can. And if it won't compile, it'll just go back to whatever was before. So here, the input to create the colors on the screen is the pixel's position, which is represented here in this UV variable. So if I were to create a color represented here in this UV variable. So if I were to create a color, which is just a container for 4 colors, for 4 numbers, which is just for the red channel, the green channel, and the blue channel, and the alpha channel. We can visualize the pixel's position by just plugging that in like this. We see that in the center, it's going to be 0, so it's all blue, and then on the top right, it's 1, and so it's all white. And so other stuff we can do to kind of create visuals just by using the position is using math. So if you ever were wondering in math class when you would use like Pythagoras theorem, like this is exactly where you would use it. So if I wanted to like create like a float length which is going to be using Pythagoras theorem, equals length of the UV. And I wanted to put that into the colors. We can do something like vec4 called, which stands for color, or I just made that up, vec4, and then we can do like sine of length or len. And let's see what that looks like. Oops. And then we can put col here. Right, so it looks pretty similar, but if we wanted to have this change, we can multiply that by 20. You see that sine will bring the colors from -1 to 1. And if we wanted to break that up into the different channels, from red channel, green channel, and blue channel, we can say sine of len plus time, which we can create like a moving variable. And then for the blue channel, we can do like sine of len times, let's just do like, or like uv dot x divided by uv dot y. We see that like whenever it can compile, it will. And we just need to put something for the last variable, which will be 1. And so, yeah, that's how we can kind of create a visuals just by using the pixels position and math. So without further ado, we are going to open it up to some questions for 5 minutes. If anyone has any questions, we're looking at the Twitch chat, and we can get to them. So if we could switch to having both of us on screen, great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Brent is on it. Brent is our OBS wizard taking care of us. And while you're writing out the questions, you see on the bottom right of the screen livecode.nyc, and that's one of the communities for live coding within New York. But there's a global live coding community. It's a very strong community. People are active in it. So definitely look up livecode.nyc, or just maybe Google live coding. Top Lap is another.
And that kind of answers the first question. You can get interested into live coding by joining the community, because I think that's the best part about live coding is the community. It's like during our meetups, we'll talk about not only live coding, but anything that's just interested to like your general person who's interested in computers.
Yeah. And how can someone get started learning in this? I think, joining the community, watching performances. Some things won't make sense for the performance, but I hope that you'll be able to follow most of the things.
And I love this question. The next question is, do you have to spend a lot of money on equipment? Can someone get started with software only? Yes, and that's like the best part. Is that like you really can, there's a lot of the like push again to create live coding is the push to make things open source and available, and for people to be able to, anyone should be able to download some free software and get started right away. So for example, like I'm using the software CodeLife, which is free to download, but there's a bunch of other open source softwares. Like there's the Force, which is online and free.
Yeah, and right now my code is talking to a synthesizer, but you can also have synthesizers within TidalCycles running using a program called SuperCollider, which is kind of like a lower level library for making music with code.
And I see another question I missed is, can you make the animation follow the music? And yes, I can. So I wonder if it'll be lined up.
Yeah, and while Char is figuring that out, some other context on the third word you saw today that we haven't mentioned, which is live coded compositions algorave. An algorave is something that up until 2020 would be in person, where we'd have 2 projectors, sometimes 1 projector, and you'd have someone live coding music on stage, someone live coding visuals, and just imagine a time we can have everyone in one place dancing to this. But in that situation especially, it's a lot easier to pipe the audio into the visuals and have the visuals react to the bass drum, get everyone dancing.
And someone else asked another question about the visuals. I can't get it to work right now. I think my computer broke like 5 minutes before the show. And so I'm using someone else's computer. If you're writing direct to the GPU, can you break things? You can break things in the most beautiful way. So if I were to just like assign like a random, like a nothing value to like the output, I don't even know if I could do this, but if I were to like assign something that doesn't exist to the GPU, it'll just kind of give me like GPU gunk or whatever was left in the GPU buffer, and I love that. But as far as like breaking things that are unrepairable, I haven't really run into that yet, except for like overheating. Maybe that's why my computer broke. Maybe I can get back to that question after I figure out why my computer broke.
Yeah. If you're going to be streaming and performing, it's always helpful to have a computer that's like a little bit beefier. But just for getting started, if you want to be a bedroom musician live coder or a bedroom visualist live coder, you can definitely get by with most of the computers these days. And also for visuals, there's a lot of libraries that you can just use a website for. So you just go to a website and then you can do the visuals right there.
Someone asked if I use a dedicated GPU for the visualizations, and no, this is a MacBook, and my normal laptop just has a built. It's a gamer laptop. It's an HP Omen, and it has like a 1070 in it, and it's just fine. Let's see.
Cool. So we can keep on looking for questions, but while we're waiting for that to happen, I'll talk a little bit about the set. So we have an hour slot today. So thank you so much, Twilio, for having us here. We're going to have 2 segments of the performance. We're going to do the first segment, and then we're going to do like a quick Q&A break. We'll kind of like bring it down energy levels a little bit, maybe around 8 o'clock. And then from 8, maybe onwards after the questions, we're just going to do jam again and closing out the day for before APAC comes on. I see a techno question mark. Yes, short answer, yes. We'll have some techno. We'll have some. I'll be doing a little bit of singing, sampling. Yeah, it should be a good.
Yeah. Another thing is, someone said they're gonna fly to New York City when this is all over. Yeah, fly for the algo raves. But for now, you can join. We have if you go to livecode.nyc, you'll see that there's like a Discord channel, and you can kind of get to know the community just through there. Tech, yes.
Yeah. Tech, yes. Cool. How are you feeling, Char?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Should we jam out? All right, cool. So we're gonna bring both of our screens onto the stream, and this is what we're gonna be doing. So you can see.
And also to answer.
I'm so excited. You can see on the right.
No, I was just gonna say pi. Anyways.
I love it. So on the right side of the screen, you see my audio code. I'm going to try to make it legible so you can follow along there, hopefully. And on the left side, you'll see CHAR's visuals, GLSL code.
Yes.
Cool. I also wish Bill and I had stuck around for the rave. Maybe he's here. If you're here, Bill, say hi.
Please, Bill. Oh, the audio is working, but you just can't really hear it. Hold on, I can make this.
Oh, cool. Oh, the audio reactive.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Cool. I'm going to turn on my echo. Hello. Cool. All right. Let's do this thing. Throw this on a do loop right here. Looks really cool. Oh yeah, please. We lost the synth. Oh, it's commented out. There we go. There we go. Cool. So we're about halfway, and I guess we can open up to questions again for a little bit, see how everyone's feeling. We still have about half an hour left. I think we're going to transition to a different song.
I feel really good.
How are you doing, Shara?
I saw someone ask, how can we make this live remote collab happen? And throughout quarantine, I've learned so much about, like, you know, setting up remote shows, which makes me have a lot more respect for what Brent is doing. I just know exactly how like difficult it is to do these kinds of like live collabs. Musical. Oh, we're getting some really good questions. I'll like live collabs. Musical. Oh, we're getting some really good questions. I'll get them in order. We play a lot in like Wonderville, which is a place in New York City and Brooklyn.
It's a wonderful New York DIY space. Let me turn off my reverb real quick. But yeah, Wonderville is where I think Char ran a New Year's Eve show, and that was a highlight.
Yeah, it was like kind of down from there.
Right in the beginning of 2020.
Sadness.
But I think doing the live streams, it's just live coding.
I think I'm
really
crying.
well,
I'm crying a little bit right now because I see my visuals look kind of choppy. Like if we're doing it live, it'll just be projected, and you can actually see them better on my screen over here. They're smoother, but you know, that's just, you know, I'm happy that you know, it added another layer of it's just adding a layer of computation on it.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about projectors. You can just push the envelope a lot to get to that point. Any other questions?
Oh, what's the best sound and visual you discovered completely due to a bug? Well, I found this really great thing that I always use, which is a UV UVX equals UV.x divided by UV.y. That always like makes everything look really cool super instantly. And that was just by accident.
Yeah, my favorite was, if you look on the right side, I can make the sound be like a snare drum sound. And let's just do like 2 snare drums. But if you do MIDI note like 36, it turns into like a really cool sounding bass drum. So let's add some release to that. This was just like yesterday. So you can just make bass drums out of anything. TidalCycles, you can bring in samples and then mess with them a lot.
Dan,
it's a lot of fun.
I really want to know who your musical influences are.
Oh man, so I really I grew up playing a lot of classical music and jazz, and then once I started doing live coding, that's where I had to learn electronic music from the ground up. So let's see. I don't know. Floating Points has been a really good one. Quartet for electronic music, but. Man, I listen to so many jazz. Like I've been learning jazz keyboard during quarantine, so I have a lot of like jazz musician influences. I've been learning jazz keyboard during quarantine, so I have a lot of like jazz musician influences. How about you?
Well, my visual influences is really like the legends.
No, I don't know.
They're all really worth it.
I have to look them up now, though. Robert Glasper for jazz musician. That's like R&B blues. If I can do the kind of stuff you can do, I would just. Yeah,
someone asked if I publish my code anywhere. I publish. If you want the code for this afterwards, contact me on Instagram or whatever. Email me. I'll send it to you. No problem. I'm all about sharing the code that I write, and I'll even comment it for you. If you go on my gist, which is just my name, CHAR STILES on my gist, you'll see almost like everything I upload on there is almost, I'll comment it for you. If you go on my gist, which is just my name, CHAR STILES on my gist, you'll see almost like everything I upload on there is almost all of them are shared.
Put too much on GitHub, but you can see a lot of past live performances on my YouTube. I should be publishing more code from today.
Yes.
Is what I'm learning today. I just installed Tidal. Any really cool things to do to start it out? Something appropriate to Switzerland. Cowbell? Oh my gosh, I love it. The tutorial for TidalCycles is really good. I think just going through that is really great. Gratson's getting it set up. I hope you can get some sounds out of it.
Someone's asking what our handles are. My handle is just my...
I think just going through that is really great. congrats on getting it set up. I hope you can get some sounds out of it.
Someone's asking what our handles are. My handle is just my first name and last name, no space. And Dan is different, so I'll let you say it.
My handle is DQ Gorelick, but if you go to dan.dog, that has all my links to all my different SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, or not Facebook, but Instagram, stuff like that. Cool. Getting sound that would be nice. Yeah, it's a process.
That's another thing, is that in the live code meetup, there's at least once a month there's someone coming in being like, I want to install TidalCycles, and I run into this error, and everyone's like, oh yes, that old friend, let us all come together and fix it for you, because it's just like so hard otherwise. Dan set up my title. He was there for when I set up my TidalCycles. I'm sure I ran into issues.
Yeah, it's a process. I think for visuals, there's a lot of websites where you can go on and just get started. But for music, because you have to synthesize the music somehow, the browsers can't really hold up. Maybe in like 2 years it'll be all different. So yeah, it's a little bit of a process, but it's definitely worth sticking through it. If you have any questions, message me Instagram, email, whatever, and I'll try to get you started. Cool. I see someone is posting TidalCycles patterns in the chat. Let me copy that and see what that sounds like. A user submission.
I wanted to link. This is a. Oh, I need to follow Twilio. Okay, this is a live editor online that you can just get started right away. I use it when I teach shaders. I teach shaders at Codemy, and this is an online tool. You just open it up and you get started right away. And if you want some examples on how to get started with this, you can just go like. You can go to my gist, and anything that has the force at the end of it will compile. If you just command copy it all into there, it'll compile and you'll see whatever is there.
We got an amen break going, everyone. This is something that Liz Moy introduced me to. Liz Moy at Twilio.
Amazing. We love Liz. We love you, Liz.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Liz Moy. Liz Moy introduced me to Liz Moy at Twilio.
Amazing. We love Liz. We love you, Liz.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Liz Moy for getting this to happen. Shout out to
Yeah, everyone go listen to Liz's podcast, Deploy with Liz Moy.
Yes. Oh, man. And the theme music for that show is also made with TidalCycles, by the way, which is a fun little Easter egg. But yeah. Cool. All right. So should we start the second half?
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps?
Let's go.
Cool. So user submitted amen break. I love it. I think this is how we're going to start the second set.
And I'm going to start with so I'm going to be using a 3D technique now called ray marching. If you're wondering how it works, how it's going to look 3D, I'm going to show you my starting place. So I'm ready.
I love it. Cool. And we might also introduce some color this time.
I'm ready.
I love it. Cool. And we might also introduce some color this time. The last set was an homage to Gnarls Berkeley's Crazy, by the way.
I saw some people got it. Well, some people were like Rorschach patterns or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right. Go.
Let's do this. Bump up the BPM a little bit too. I like it. This is so punchy. Cool, I like that. And let's do some. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit. other questions, we can answer those.
Don't leave. I'm not sure if this will be available afterwards, but that's the ephemerality of live code. I definitely can send the code to anyone who's interested, though.
I think we'll have the VODs going on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, great. Great, thanks so much, Brent. Oh, wonderful.
Cool, thank you so much, Brent. Thanks, Liz. Chef Brent, we love Chef Brent.
You should definitely have it up there.
Everyone subscribe. Oh, wait.
I saw someone ask, how did you get into this? Through New York, there's like a really fun DIY art tech community, and a couple people started livecode.nyc, and I discovered them like actually 3 or 4 years ago, but it wasn't until last year when I actually got TidalCycles installed on my computer, and then CHAR STILES here started inviting me to shows. So I don't know, Char, how did you get into this?
I found it on Google, and I was like, this is sick. And I was studying computer science and fine art at the time, and it was like the best way to combine the two things.
Yeah, for me, I've been a musician my whole life. I've been a coder throughout college and onwards, and this is just like a perfect confluence of the two. And once I got TidalCycles installed, it was just, I hit the ground running and it was off to the races.
Yeah, Dan's live coding is like otherworldly.
Likewise, Char.
Someone's asking if we stream. I could.
Yeah, that's supposed to be on my goals for 2020, is start to stream. Brent is going to teach us a few things. So I think that we're going to try to do a show before the end of the year. That's my surprise for Char, is maybe doing a New Year's show part 2 live stream. We'll see.
Great. Yeah, we need that.
But hopefully some before that as well.
Oh my gosh,
so we can do it on our own.
Yeah, and then Brent can live code.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Brent will teach us OBS things, and then we can teach Brent some live coding things.
Yeah.
But cool, all right. So I guess, yeah, thank you so much, Twilio, for having us. Thanks, Liz, for setting this up. Thanks, Brent, for just jamming out with us, doing an amazing job.
Yes.
No,
doing your
thank
own
you.
video
Thank
DJing.
you.
Yeah, thanks
This
for
has
live
been
coding.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. But yeah, cool. Anything else, Char? Should we play him off?
That's about it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Cool.
Have a nice day. Night.
Cool. Take care, everyone. I'm going to play Rhodes till we get turned off.